It's that time again. It's time for another virtual model railroad show on Coffee and Trains. Welcome everybody to another edition of Coffee and Trains. Before we begin, I'm drinking Solimo's Kona blend, and as always, black with 2 sugars. All right, guys, so we had so many submissions this time that I'm actually not gonna be able to get to all of them in this episode. So if you submitted and you haven't seen yours in here, don't worry, I am going to put them into the next episode, so you will get there. I also am going to put a couple of patrons up here because I'm doing a little bit of a salute to patrons since I just crossed 100 patrons. You can check out my Patreon in the description below. But let's start off with patron Randy Dale. You can check out his dioramas that he has made right here. He's got one that's kind of a lakefront, riverfront, not quite sure what it is there, but it's got a little house, little cottage right there with a little dock and some, looks like canoes and some trees right here. This is a really great little diorama, and I love little dioramas like this. You don't have to do necessarily all these huge scenes. Little dioramas are great. It's one reason why I love modular model railroads, especially T-track, is you can make these really creative small scenes. You can also check out this other scene that he did where he had a waterfall with a campsite right here as well. So great job, Randy. I really like it. Next up, we have Robert Collins right here with a picture of his layout setup that he is working on. I love showing this kind of layout right here because I think a lot of people get intimidated thinking they have to have a really big layout, but you can have a ton of fun with a small layout. Look at this, like the amazing scenic base right here that he's working on, and just a great job that he is doing right here. So great job, Robert. I hope you send me more pictures because I really want to see more of this small layout setup. Next up is Rob B, and he has a somewhat unusual square layout setup that I really like. And the reason that I like this is because it is creative. It is a modular layout, but a lot of times you don't see a square layout unless it's running along the walls. And what he's done is basically made this square layout to where he can utilize both sides of the boards and the modules that he is making. So it looks really cool. It's going to be really fun to run, and some of the pictures of the scenery are really great too. So thanks, Rob, for sending that in. Next up is Christopher Weaver, and he actually technically has 2 layouts that we're going to talk about here really quick, but we're going to go ahead and talk about the first one, which is this awesome layout. A lot of steam, a lot of diesel, just looks like a ton of fun to run. Love seeing layouts like this because you know that the person that built it is having a lot of fun with it. So now the second layout, I'm not going to lie, is really cool. And I don't know if you'd call it a layout more than actual just a railroad. This is a 21-inch gauge railroad that his grandfather built, and they built home-built engines to run on it, and they're still running it. You can check out these pictures here. It's so cool. Let's be real, we would all have this in our backyards if we had the time, the space, and the money to do it. So thank you, Christopher, for sending all of those in. Last but not least, we have Chris Boyce with some UP power. I love seeing transition UP. It always looks great. You got these beautiful, majestic steam engines right next to those beautiful transition diesels. Those are some of the best diesels that were ever made, let's be honest, in terms of aesthetics. So this is just absolutely fantastic. And you can tell it struck that balance of like good scenery and then really fun to run and operate. So thank you, Chris, for sending those in. So that's what I have this time. Like I said, if you submitted and didn't see your layout on here, don't worry, I'm going to get to it. So thank you guys so much for sending all of that in. If you want to send in pictures of your layout, there's an email in the description below that you can send it everything to. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the coffees that you guys are drinking. Orthane42 says that he's drinking a medium roast caribou coffee from his Keurig. I do love me some caribou coffee. Dad 2012, Dwayne Miller says that he is drinking a Tim Hortons regular roast with 1 sweetener and 2 cream. All you Canadians rubbing in my face that you can get Tim Hortons and I can't down here in North Carolina. So awesome. Thank you, Dwayne from Winnipeg. Donald Lewis says that he's drinking Starbucks French roast ground from beans. That's the best way to make a really good cup of coffee, is to ground the beans yourself. And last but not least, Chris Jones says that he's drinking Black Rifle coffee, a little cream, and a little sugar in the raw. Thank you guys so much for watching. I want to say a big thank you to my 100 100 patrons. I can't believe that I have 100 patrons. Thank you guys so much. If you would like to become a patron, you can in the link in the description below. You can do it for just $1 a month. Right now, I've got some special first 100 patrons exclusive merchandise and a digital badge that you can download right there, and you can access it for just $1 a month. And at the $5 a month level, you get a special model of the month every month that you can download and 3D print yourself if you're into that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.